हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाये नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करो वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणो याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरं। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So we are seeing the 18th chapter of Gita. भगवान in the beginning tells us that we have to pursue the path of Karma Yoga and make our mind Antakarana pure, then gain self-knowledge, thereafter gain abidance in this self-knowledge through Jnana Nishtha. So we should make our Antakarana pure, make it free from all impurities and also from the impurities of Karta, Bhokta, Jnata. That is very important. All actions are performed in the field of Prakriti. Atma is not the doer. So Bhagavan analyzes this very beautifully. First he reveals the 5 causes of karma, adhishthanam, tatha, karta, etc. Thereafter Bhagavan talks about the 3 propellers of action, jnanam, neyam and parijñata, and the 3 contents of karma, karma sangraha, that is karanam, karma and karta. Now Bhagavan is revealing the 3 types of jnanam, karma and karta. If we can improve these 3, it will lead to purification of our antakarana. So jnanam is knowledge, karma is the actions, and karta is the doer of action. So 3 types of jnanam Bhagavan explained are sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. Sattvic jnanam is that by which one is able to see that underlying cause which is present everywhere equally without any modification. So sarva bhuteshu ena ekam bhavam ikshate avivaktam vibhakteshu tad jnanam vidhi sattvikam. That is sattvic jnanam. Then rajasic jnanam is where one sees differences everywhere. Everything is seen but different. One is different from other. Even the self is seen as though divided in every body. So that knowledge is rajasic jnanam. And one who considers one of the effect itself as everything, doesn't have the subtlety to understand the cause, but only looks at the effect, and not the entire effect, but only one aspect of the effect is seen, and that itself is considered as everything. So very limited, narrow, fanatic understanding, that is what is called tamasic jnanam. And they have their own implications. So sattvic jnanam will lead to positive sattvic activities. Rajasic will lead to more and more desire prompted rajasic activities, and tamasic will lead to tamasic activities. Now Bhagavan is analyzing the activities, the karma, and the 3 types of karma, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So let us chant verse number 23. Niyatam sangarahitam aragadveshatakritam afalaprepsuna karma yattat sattvikam. So we are prompted by this jnanam and neyam, parijñata to perform different types of karma. So here Bhagavan is describing the sattvic karma. So what is sattvic karma? So Bhagavan says one is the karma which is niyatam, which is prescribed by the Shastra. How the karmas are classified. So first thing which Bhagavan says is that karma which is prescribed by the Shastra, which is ordained according to our varna, ashrama, gender, the Shastra ordains karma, that oh, you should do this karma, Brahmana you do this karma, Kshatriya you do this karma, Vaishya you do this karma, Shudra you do this karma. Like that the Shastras ordain the karmas. Also the Yajna Dana Tapak karma is also revealed by the Shastras. So one who does those karmas alone, niyatam, then sangarahitam, the karma which are done without attachment to the karma, without attachment to the result, without attachment to all the people involved, without attachment to the place. So one does it with asanga bhava. That karma is called sattvic. Sangarahitam means asakti varjitam. Then araga dveshatak kritam, karma which is done without raga dvesha. The raga means attachment and dvesha is dislike or hatred, should not be the propelling force behind performing those actions. So those karmas which are not propelled by raga dvesha. So raga prayuktena dvesha prayuktena cha kritam raga dveshatah kritam tad viparitam kritam araga dveshatah kritam. Like that Shankaracharya ji says, the karma which is not propelled by intense attachment, intense likes and dislikes, out of hatred, out of jealousy, out of some sort of impatience and intolerance. Such things also propel action. But those actions which are not propelled by such negative tendencies are called sattvic actions. So araga dveshatak kritam. Then aphala prepsuna karma. Then those karmas which are performed without having an eye on the result of action. Phalam prepsatiti, phala prepsuhu, phala trishnaha, tad viparitena aphala prepsuna kartra kritam. So the doer performed this action without having attachment to the result of action. Means the actions are performed, the karma is performed out of a sense of duty and as a dedication to Ishvara, without expecting and keeping an eye on the result. So these are the important factors: niyata, sangarahita, aragadveshata kritam, aphala prepsuna karma. The four important factors are mentioned here. If they are taken care of, then those karmas are called sattvic karma. See, we have seen in the third chapter also, Bhagavan talked about karma yoga, in which we saw that we have to take care. We should have that kartavya buddhi, asanga buddhi, samatva buddhi, Ishvara arpana buddhi, prasada buddhi. So same thing in different way Bhagavan is revealing here as sattvic karma. So niyata karma is our duties. We should fulfill all our duties. Person who doesn't fulfill his responsibilities, doesn't fulfill all his duties, is not spiritual in any way. We have our responsibilities towards ourselves, towards our family, towards our society, towards our ancestors, towards all the beings in this world, towards the devatas, towards Ishvara, and all these responsibilities have to be fulfilled without having any expectation in return, as an expression of our love and gratitude. It is to be done because it has to be done as a duty. So that is the niyata karma. If everyone does their niyata karma properly, then the whole world will move very smoothly. The whole problem is people don't do their karmas, they don't fulfill their responsibilities, and they start fighting for their rights. But if everyone takes care of their responsibilities, rights will be taken care of automatically. For example, in our own body, when all the organs they do their respective functions properly, then the whole body will function very smoothly and healthily. Then there will not be any pressure on any organs. There will not be load. No organ will have to work extra in order to compensate for the laziness of other organs. So the whole body will function efficiently. Similarly, in the society, if all people they fulfill their responsibilities depending on their station in life, depending on their responsibility in the society, if they fulfill them, the whole thing will run very smoothly. And that itself is called, those karmas are called sattvic karma. But this sattvic karma also should be done without attachment. Asanga means with kartavya bhavana. Should not get attached to the karma, to the result, to the people, to place. Just do it with asanga bhavana, with samatva bhava. Araga dveshata kritam is samatva bhava. No likes, no dislikes. Not too much of any emotions, too much of anger, too much of jealousy, too much of pride. All these things should not be the propellers of this action. With a balanced antakarana, the karma should be fulfilled. Then those karmas are called sattvic. Then aphala-prepsuna, without an eye on the result. Then what should be the attitude? That it is my duty and I am doing it as an offering to Ishvara. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi means ultimately I want to attain that Ishvara. I am performing this karma so that ultimately I have to attain Ishvara. I have no other intention, no other agenda. Not for the little results of the karma. Of course, when I do this with Nishkam Bhavana, my Yogakshema is taken care of by Ishvara. Bhagavan has said in the 10th chapter we have seen, in the 9th chapter, कि अनन्यास चिंतयन्तो माम ये जना पर्युपासते तेषाम नित्याभियुक्तानाम योगक्षेम वहाम्यहम्. That those who constantly dedicate themselves to me, contemplate on me, serve me, I take care of them. So without having an eye on the result, when that karma is performed, then that karma action is called sattvic. And generally when we have a sattvic jnanam, automatically one will perform sattvic action. So this is very important. But if one has got rajasic tendencies or tamasic tendencies, then our actions will also become rajasic and tamasic. So what are rajasic karma that Bhagavan now reveals in the next shloka? Shloka number 24. Yattu kamepsuna karma sahankarena va punaha kriyate bahulayasam tadrajasamudahritam. Bhagavan says ki yattu, different from this sattvic karma, is this rajasic karma which is performed by those who have attachment to the results of action, with a desire in their heart, kamepsuna, phalaprepsuna ityarthaha, with a desire for the result, with an eye on the results of action. Means after some gain, some profit. Every action they do, they try to see what I will get in return. I am serving my parents, what will I get in return? I am serving the devatas, what I will get in return? I am serving the ancestors, what will I get? I am taking care of the society, I am serving the people around, what will I get in return? I should get something. I should get some name, fame. I should get some recognition. If I don't get it, then I will not do it. I am serving the parents so that they can write all their property in my name. If they don't have money and all, then I will not serve them. I will send them to some old age home. So one whose karma is well calculated to get something, not out of love, not out of gratitude, not out of the sense of duty, but with a very ulterior, selfish motive, those karmas are called rajasic karma. So yattu kamepsuna karma sahankarena va punaha, and it is performed with lot of ahankar, lot of pride. See, I am doing this, I am serving my parents, I am serving the devatas, with lot of pride and arrogance and vanity. One does those karmas, creating a lot of pomp and show. Even if some social work is being done, they will do it in such a way that their name and their that program gets publicized properly everywhere, so that they get proper recognition from the world. So with lot of ahankar, if a karma is being performed, then that is rajasic karma. And when the rajasic karmas are performed, it doesn't purify our antakarana. So we might get the result according to our karma, which sattvic karma also gives the result. So whatever result we get, but it will never purify the antakarana. So with all this effort and spending all the energy to perform all these karmas, in the end, one doesn't gain any spiritual benefit, one doesn't evolve. So sahankarena va punaha kriyate bahulayasam, and those karmas which are done with lot of efforts, because those karmas which are not our duties, those karmas which are not in tune to our nature, those karmas which are not in tune with our gunas and all, we have to put forth more effort, more physical effort, more emotional effort, more intellectual effort we have to put forth in those karmas. So those who have that eye on the result with lot of ego and pride and vanity when they perform, putting forth lots of effort, kriyate bahul ayasam, lot of ayas. Such karmas are called rajasic karma. Tad rajasam udarutam, they are called rajasic. So kamepsuna karma, sahankarena va punaha, and kriyate bahulayasam. So those karmas which are done only to get the result. The focus is not on the kartavya. The focus is not on dedicating the actions to Ishvara with pride and vanity and effort. Such karmas are called rajasic karma. So this description we should use to analyze our own self. Introspection it is called. A spiritual seeker should often introspect, check oneself. Check all the, just like when in a machine also, before they undertake a major work, they check the machine whether all the different functions are functioning properly. Like now they have sent this rover on Mars, the Perseverance. It is a very, very fantastic task which the science community has performed. So before sending that rover, all these scientists with so much of dedication, they have to see all the different factors, because even if one thing goes wrong, the whole mission will collapse. So they had to meticulously look at everything. Everything should function according to the plan. The parachute should open at the right time. All the cameras should open at the right time. The exact location has to be judged based on the whatever artificial intelligence, and so many factors are there. And when all the factors work together properly, then only the mission becomes successful, and it has become successful. So similarly, we have to successfully attain that supreme goal of moksha. We should check whether all our faculty, all our different expressions are functioning properly. We should check whether our knowledge is sattvic. We should check whether our karma is sattvic. If not, then we should tune it towards sattvic. That is the sadhana. That is the sadhana, an intelligent spiritual practice. That is what Vedanta is. It is not just blindly doing something mechanically. It's an intelligent spiritual practice. So here Bhagavan described the Rajasic karma. Now, in the next verse, Bhagavan describes Tamasic karma. Anubandham kshayam himsam anapekshya cha paurusham mohadarabhyate karma yattattamasamuchyate. Bhagavan says that these are tamasic karmas which have all these signs. What are they? He says the karmas which are performed out of mohad arabhyate, out of confusion, out of delusion, without proper analyzing, without proper thinking, at the spur of the moment, one does karma. So, mohad arabhyate, anapeksha, without seeing, without thinking, without understanding, without thinking, without seeing what? Anubandham, kshayam, hinsam, cha paurusham. Without seeing what? Anubandham. Anubandham means paschad bhavi yad vastu sa anubandha uchyate tam cha anubandham. Means the what will happen if I perform this action? What will be the outcome? Without seeing it, out of intense ignorance, confusion, a person just does those karmas. And we see it in the society. People in the state of anger, in the state of jealousy, in the state of complete confusion, in the state of intoxication, addiction, they perform horrible actions at the individual level, in their own family, in the society, without caring for the outcome of the action. कि ये करने से क्या होगा, उसका क्या परिणाम होगा on myself, on my family, on the society, which thoughtlessly does. That's called anubandham anapeksha, without seeing the outcome of an action. It is performed out of ignorance. Not only the general outcome, but a person doesn't even think about the kshayam, all the loss involved. Yasmin karmani kriyamane shakti kshayah artha kshayah va syat. Ki how much of effort I will have to put, how much of money will get wasted, how much of other things will get destroyed in this action. What will be the outcome? What will be the loss? Loss of property, loss of wealth, loss of health, loss of relationship. See, an action out of spur of the moment, one performs an action, then one has to repent throughout their life. Because some actions, they have terrible implications which can spoil one's life totally. So one should think before performing any action. One should think properly before performing any action. So anubandham kshayam, hinsam. Then one doesn't look at what violence and what destruction will be involved in an action. Prani pidam. Ki this action which I will perform, it will hurt the other people around, it will harm the animals, birds, it will create a lot of disturbance in the world. One doesn't bother, blindly does it. It's like a violence, like riots, like some senseless actions. And we hear this happening every day, everywhere. Mohad arabhyate karma. And to a certain extent, in a small or larger scale, it happens. See, a Rajasic action he at least keeps an eye on the result, and if the result is something which he will benefit, selfishness is there in a Rajasic action. But in Tamasic, there is no selfishness also. It's totally blind. Out of moha, ignorance, senselessly doing something. Most of this violent murder and all sorts of things which we see in this society, negative phenomenons, riots, all these are prompted by this, many of them are prompted by this tamasic tendencies only, asuri tendencies. But even those who consider themselves good, they should also see that their actions are done after proper thinking. Thoughtlessly doing something is not good. So one should check whether what will be the outcome of this action. See here, the tamasic person doesn't take guidance from the Shastras. So they don't think about what is their kartavya karma. A Rajasic person might think that, oh, this is my kartavya karma, but may do it with selfishness, with ulterior motives, with an eye on the result. But the tamasic person is totally unaware of what are his duties, what are his responsibilities towards his family, towards himself, towards the society. Even animals, they are guided by nature, guided by instinct. They also behave properly. But this tamasic person behave in a most animalistic way. So anubandham kshayam hinsam anapeksha cha paurusham. Then paurusham. Paurusham means purushartha, our capacity. Will I be able to complete this work? Do I have the necessary strength, the power, the other things required, money, support? Will I be able to complete this work properly? One has to, before undertaking the work, should see the paurusha also. Do I have the ability? Otherwise, one tries to undertake some work blindly with confusion, and then there is a great loss and all destruction. So one should see paurusham also. So purushakaram shaknomi idam karma samapayitum iti evam atma samarthyam. The samarthya, our own capacity, one should be able to see. But without seeing that, one just does something, then that karma is called tamasic. Here Bhagwan is analyzing the action itself. Though it is performed by some person, but the action itself is being analyzed and classified as tamasic. So anubandham kshayam himsam anapeksha cha paurusham mohad arabhyate karma yattat tamasam uchyate. So as a sadhana, we should focus our attention on making our karma sattvic, making our jnanam sattvic, and making ourselves sattvic. That is our sadhana. And in all these sadhanas, we are our own judge. We should introspect, we should judge ourselves. Of course, we can take help of our teacher, we can take help of other sincere seekers, but we should be able to very objectively look at ourselves. We should be very what you call critical about ourselves. Should notice even if the whole world is praising us, but if we have some defects, some negativities, something which is not proper, we should make it proper. Because that alone will take us towards our ultimate goal. And also, as we become more and more sattvic, means as our jnanam, karma become sattvic, we shall experience the inner joy, that prasada, that peace and inner happiness will be experienced as we proceed and progress on our spiritual path. Okay? So after describing the three types of karma, now in the following verses, Bhagavan describes three types of karta. So this karta is upadhi yukta, that self only. The difference is in the upadhis. So just as we say this blue glass, though we call the glass blue, the glass is not blue, it is transparent. But with the help of that blue color, we describe that glass as blue glass. Similarly, the karta is that the subject in us is that Atma only, and with respect to the body, the mind, the senses, that Atma itself is indicated as a sattvic, rajasic, tamasic karta due to this upadhis. But when we gain proper knowledge and when we come to understand that nirupadhik Atma, we come to know that it is neither karta, nor bhokta, nor jnata. So first we have to focus our attention on making the waters more and more clear, though assuming the sense of stewardship. We make the waters clear. And once the waters become clear, then we transcend these waters and come to understand, realize our own self as not a karta, not a bhokta, not a jnata, but that Shuddha Atma, Shuddha Brahma. Okay? So when it is said karta, it is upadhi yukta only, with respect to the upadhis. So I become a sattvic karta, rajasic karta, tamasic karta, depending on the quality of the upadhis. So through my sadhana, I have to become more and more sattvic. And thereafter I can transcend this sattva guna also. So here in this verse number 26, Bhagavan describes a sattvic karta. Okay? So let us chant. मुक्तसंगो नहं वादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्योर्निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते. Bhagavan says that this karta is called sattvic when he or she has got these features in him. What is that? What are those features? Ki mukta sangaha, one who is free from all attachments. There is no sangha. Muktaha parityakta sangaha ena samukta sangaha. One who has dropped all attachment to the body, to the mind, to the intellect, to the karma phala. One who becomes more and more detached from all this is called Mukta Sangaha. With that detached attitude, one works. See, just as when sometimes we use a remote control to operate some machine, we are far away from that machine and we operate it totally detached from that machine. Similarly, this sattvic karta, having total detachment towards his own body, mind, intellect, towards all the senses, towards the karma, towards karma phala, with a detached outlook, he works, fulfills whatever responsibilities are there. So that type of attitude, that type of that feeling or understanding when a person has, then that is sattvic. That person is sattvic karta. Mukta sangaha. Mukta sangha anahamvadi. Also, anahamvadi means not ahamvadi. Means doesn't keep on talking about I am the doer. It doesn't have this sense of doership. Does things as sometimes just as an instrument in Bhagwan's hands, without having that pride, vanity, that notion that, oh, I am the doer, I have done this. So anahamvadi, like Hanumanji, when he works, totally we will see all these characteristics in him. Mukta sangaha anahamvadi. When he was asked by Ravan that who are you, he did not try to tell his own greatness. He told the greatness of Sri Ram. And then he just added a last sentence that I am his sevak. My Bhagwan, Sri Ram is great and I am his sevak. So anahamvadi, that I am not the doer. Really speaking, everything is happens by the blessings of that Ishvara. So with that attitude, one works. So mukta sangaha, anahamvadi, and dhriti utsaha samanvitaha, endowed with lot of dhriti. Dhriti means dhairya, perseverance. Never give up attitude. Means if some work he undertakes as his duty, he just does it without stopping, without becoming lazy, without giving up, without getting dejected, depressed, goes on and on and on. Ki karna hai, karna hai. Again, to give example of Hanumanji, as he was going to Lanka, that Mainak Parvat rose in front of him and requested him that please stay here, take some rest, and thereafter you can go to Lanka. He said, no, I can't take rest. Till Bhagwan's work is done, there is no rest for me. Ram kaj kine bino mohi kaha vishram. Goes on and on. It's called dhriti. See, we have in our body, in our mind, in our intellect, we have tremendous capacity, unbelievable strength and power is there within. Because this equipment is Bhagwan's Prakriti. The samarthya which is there in this body, mind, intellect, senses, the pranas, are the samarthya of Ishvara. And Ishvara is Sarva Shaktiman. With this, our body, mind, intellect, one can achieve great wonders. Everyone is capable of great achievements. Because great Shakti power is stored within this. Just like in the field of science also, they say a tiny little atom has got tremendous power in it. It may appear so tiny. We can't even see that atom with our naked eye. But it has got so much power that when it is released, it can create a big blast in a place. All this atom bomb and nuclear bomb and all, from where they get all this power to create such a big blast? From tiny atoms only. But when those powers are not enhanced, not taken out, remains dormant. They remain dormant. So how can we bring out that power, that force, that energy which is there? By dedicating ourselves to Ishvara. Because Ishvara alone can bring out the powers. Thus, Prakriti is in the hands of Ishvara. Prakriti is in the hands of Ishvara. So dedicate yourself to Ishvara. Let him work through you. So Mukta Sangha Anaham Vadi Dhriti Utsaha Samanvitaha, endowed with lot of dhairya, lot of patience and perseverance, and Utsaha, with full of enthusiasm. A Sattvic Karta is not someone who is totally dejected, depressed, karna hai. Not with a sad face one should do our kartavya, no. With lot of enthusiasm, lot of zeal. It is a great privilege that Bhagwan has given us this body and given us this work. So we should do it with full enthusiasm and joy, with lot of perseverance. Lage raho Bhagwan ke kaam mein, without getting dejected, depressed, without stopping, go on and on and on. So dhriti utsaha samanvitaha. Such a person is called Sattvic Karta. Then Siddhya Siddhyor Nirvikara. Also, the Sattvic Karta is Nirvikara, doesn't get disturbed by what? By the success or failure of his work. Doesn't lose hope, doesn't lose his enthusiasm, his dhairya. Even if he doesn't succeed in one go, he again gets up and again keeps walking. Doesn't stop. Nothing can stop a Sattvic Karta on his march toward the supreme goal while performing his Sattvic Karma. Goes on and on. Just like in nature also we see the sun rises every day enthusiastically. Even if the whole day was so negative, people doing all sorts of bad karmas and the whole thing was so bad, still after the sun set, next morning it rises with full glory, with full joy, blessing the whole world with its light and heat, goes on and on and on. For billions of years, every day the sun rose with same enthusiasm, and every day it was beautiful. Even before the human beings came on earth, the sun used to rise. And even when we get destroyed or get extinct, whatever happens in future, the sun will continue to rise. Because the sun is Bhagwan's sevak. Bhagwan has set him on this journey to rise every day, so he is rising. भगवान का काम करना है, करते रहो, without losing interest, without losing enthusiasm. चरे वैति, एकला चालो रे. Even if one has to walk alone, walk alone. So that type of attitude is sattvic karta. Such a karta is sattvic. See, all these differences and all are there in the upadhis only. In the antakarana of a sattvic karta, in the senses, in the sharira. So the difference in the antakarana creates one comes to comprehend the self also differently. When the antakarana becomes pure, clear, crystal clear, the self is seen or experienced as it is. So mukta sango naham vadi dhruti utsaha samanvitaha siddhya siddhyo nirvikaraha karta sattvika uchyate. So become a sattvic karta, perform sattvic karma, gain sattvic jnanam. This itself is karma yoga. And when we pursue this, automatically the mind antakarana will become pure. And with a pure antakarana, approaching a master, one gains self-knowledge. Thereafter, pursue the path of jnana-nishtha and become free. Okay? More about this we will see in our next class. So next class will be on Monday. Tomorrow and is Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday we will have chutti. So in the chutti you can listen to the videos which you might have missed, and also contemplate on all that you have heard. Also I will give you some questions to ponder and answer. So contemplate on them and answer. And we shall meet again on Monday to continue with this study of this chapter, this beautiful chapter. So till then you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and we shall meet again on Monday. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, 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 Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।